who is the what you call the benefactor or sufferer of all the planning activities that happen. So physical logistics plays a critical role in ensuring the product availability. So what are the different distribution strategies that you are evolving or making to ensure that the planning also goes well and you are more responsive to the customer?
Okay. So first of all, talking about logistics, it's a very high pressure job, very high pressure job. What you need to learn is that you have to create wisdom in your job, because landscape is getting changed. Every 3 years your landscape gets changed. So what we have learned, when we implemented GST, that you have to do consolidation of warehouses. Okay. After 3 years or 4 years, COVID came, then your landscape got absolutely changed. With the rise of e-commerce, again your landscape has completely changed. And I get inspired by my ex-CFO. Once he said that there is a lot of complexity in our organization, because we have different portfolios. We have chocolate, which has a controlled temperature. We have pet care, and we have different types of products. So what he told me that you need to master the complexity. You need to master the complexity. You need to navigate how you are going to define your strategy. And I can assure you one thing. Every 3 months you have to refresh your logistics. Now today, talking about logistics, one is that you need to learn from your partners. I'll give you a recent example. We were in some kind of crisis and I was discussing with one of my partner service provider how fast we can deliver this. This has to go to eastern part of the India. He gave me a good idea. Sir, why not Vande Bharat? Now imagine the power of that. So what you need to do is, have a solid relationship with your partners, because most of the times those ideas will come from them. Because what happens, you make beautiful strategies, beautiful presentations and all that. But once you are on the ground, logistics, it's completely changed, because what you said, your factory or your DC was completely shut. Then you have to have plan B from where you are going to cater these. So today, what is important is that you have to have plan B for everything. Everything. In logistics, I can tell you, you do all kind of automation, whether it is route optimization, whether you bring artificial intelligence. I'll just give you an example. We all know in controlled temperature, you have to have dedicated vehicles. You have to have captive fleet. Now the big question is that how are you going to, increase the asset intensity of these, fleets, because that comes at a cost. Now what we started, we hired someone, a startup, that please help us in vehicle scheduling, please help us in route optimization and all that. And we thought of 18 constraints, only 18 constraints. But when actually we deep dived into it, 56 constraints were there. Now imagine, 56 constraints. Kahin pe gaadi nahi andar ja sakti, fleet size, kahin pe no entry and all that. So what you need to do is, your input variables has to be extremely, extremely strong and fundamental in nature. Because most of the times we are responsible for that complexity. So what we need to learn or unlearn is that at the end of the day, it is your distribution center, it is your driver who is going to be the interface with your customer. And one more thing which I want to emphasize is that today, whether it is your omni-channel, whether it is your e-commerce, everyone wants to co-partner with you. Because if you don't co-partner with them, I am telling you, we are not going to win at the marketplace. So what you have to do, they are looking for a solution. Because today, I don't want to name the organization, and they said if we can deliver in 15-20 minutes, why are you delivering us on next day or maybe day after that? So it was time for us to introspect ourselves, whether we have a agile supply chain. Do we have agile, planning with us? But yes, you need to challenge yourself every day. Challenge yourself every day. How can I change this? And we got the answer. and we today are delivering same day also, which is very, very, challenging. But I can tell you one thing: if we have to thrive, you have to adapt these kind of models. If you don't adapt, you're out of the game. Because today it's all about availability. And let me take example what someone said. Who are these consumers? It is us. In my house, we get 5 different types of milk because my dad has been prescribed, different kind of milk. I drink alpha toxin free milk. My wife, she likes to have low fat and all this. Now, who are these consumers? It is us. And as a supply chain or as a logistics, if we are not going to resolve this problem, who else can resolve this problem? Secondly, we all need to learn today is that how can we co-partner internally and externally? Because most of the times we are so obsessed with our KPIs and we forgot about one big thing, which is that how can we enable business to grow? If business has to grow, which means we have to generate ideas. And let me tell you one thing. In last 3-4 years, I don't want to quote the numbers. The kind of savings we have generated is mind-boggling. It inspires you. And how we did that, going to demand and supply planning, going to our factories, reaching out to our customers, reaching out to our channel partners, reaching out to everyone in finance also, because what you said is correct. At the end of the day, it's a P&L which matters. Bottom line that matters. So what you need to do is you have to generate those kind of ideas that where I can save money, and maybe it is like self-funding. Okay, you please sponsor me this, but I will help you with this.
I understood. Sorry for interrupting. What I got a clue from your thought is that we have to be agile, and today the customers are demanding a same-day delivery. Planners are aligned, the manufacturing teams are changing, and the logistics team, definitely you people are also changing, and at the same time you are ensuring that the cost has to be delivered. So that is what you wanted to say.